All right. Rolling everywhere. Here we go.
Chia.
Welcome aboard the Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and I am back once again with my partner in crime, the one, the only, the magnificent, the beautiful, and petite, Landon the Dawes Doan. Landon, welcome back to the Monorail.
Hi, everybody. Coming to you from the isolation station of love. It's me, Landon. I loved all those compliments you gave me, though I'm not exactly sure how accurate they are, particularly that last one, because, I mean, we are rolling video for our lovely Patreons. By the way, if you want to sign up, patreon.com/morningmonorail. I think you can tell I'm not so petite, as you said.
Oh.
Like I'm sexy, I'm chubby, not petite, though.
Petite is in the eyes of the beer holder. That's what I say.
Ironically enough, that's how I got laid throughout college.
Landon, I am so excited to be back again. This is episode 160 of the Morning Monorail podcast. It's June 21st, 2021, and we just celebrated Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to everybody. Now an official federal holiday.
Long overdue.
Yeah, long overdue, and probably not nearly enough. Actually, I can tell you not nearly enough for sure. But at least it's a positive step, and we are very excited. And happy Juneteenth to all of our Monorail fam out there. We've got a lot on the agenda today, and
okay, then I'm going to hijack it very quickly. Yeah, spoiling you or surprising you rather. I want to give a shout out to Conan O'Brien because this week on the 24th is the very last episode of his show on TBS. Like, for me, Conan was my David Letterman. He was my late night guy. And on top of his late night show, he was a writer for Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons. Probably his most famous episode is Marge versus the Monorail, fittingly enough for this podcast. So shout out to Conan. He's going to be heading over to HBO Max. Thank you, sir, for decades of entertainment and forming my comedic feel.
Man, his whole story is pretty crazy. And the way that the late night wars went down and how it affected him is just such a mess. And I'm glad that he's still going, and I'm happy. I mean, HBO Max, of course, not everybody is going to be lucky enough to have that and see his show going forward, but at least he's still going to be doing a show and getting paid to do what he loves. And I'm a big Conan fan too. So,
and the cool thing is he's going to be doing a variety show on HBO Max. So he could kind of be the head writer of like an uncensored Saturday Night Live show, which I think is a very exciting prospect. Now, I doubt it's going to be, like X-rated Saturday Night Live or anything like that. But I mean, you do have to remember in his original time slot, he had some characters that pushed the envelope to the point that I'm not even going to mention them because we do like to keep this show somewhat PG. So thank you, Conan. And like he's such a good guy to his crew. I mean, you talk about how the late night war went. He and his crew move out to Los Angeles. 6 months later, he gets fired. So he's going to be okay because he gets a buyout. His crew, not so much. So he goes on the road, does live shows, so his crew can still be getting paychecks. He gave money out of his own pocket to take care of his people while all of this is going on. So Conan O'Brien, you rock, dude.
Yeah, I think he's a genuinely good dude. From all reports, people that interact with him, not anyone I've talked to directly, but just anecdotally, I hear that he takes care of his people and he's a real pleasure to interact with. So.
And plus, he gave us one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Triumph the Insult Comic Dog going to the premiere of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The line where he's talking to Darth Vader. Ah, yes, you use this apparatus to breathe in. Yes, that's correct. Which one of these buttons do you press for your parents to come and pick you up?
Classic burn.
Oh gosh, and he had the Chuck Norris lever for a little while. That was hilarious. Like if you have some free time, just go on YouTube and search for old Conan clips. They're hilarious. The stuff he's done ever since he went to TBS with his assistant Sona, those are hilarious. His, I guess, writer Jordan, him just torturing him is some of the funniest things I've ever seen. So I know we'll get to Disney stuff here in 1 second, but thank you, Conan, for decades of great stuff at this point.
Absolutely. I think that's a nice tribute. So we will now move on to the Disney stuff as promised, because we are a Disney podcast. But we're going to
I mentioned The Simpsons and Star Wars. Those are two Disney properties.
That's fair. That's very true. We're going to start out with some new Patreon shout outs.
Yeah.
We actually had 3 new joiners since we last got together and thanked our Patreon. So we're going to thank these brand new members right now, starting with Kevin Dix.
Yeah, Kevin.
We love Kevin. He's awesome. He is frequently interactive, and he joins our Monday night happy hour show. So here's to you, Kevin. Thanks for being.
Yeah, one of my favorite Patreons.
Shout out as well to new Patreon Steffers. Thanks to you, Steffers. Appreciate the support. And of
also
course,
one of my favorite patrons.
Last but not least, we were #waiting for him, and here he is. Congratulations for becoming a new Monorail Patreon, and thank you, Adam. Waiting for Adam. Adam is our newest patron. So thanks to all of you.
Again, by the way, Adam's also one of my favorites. Got to keep my gimmick going.
All of these people now have access to the Monorail Fam Patreon Discord. We're having conversations every day. It's a lot of fun over there. They're also going to get access to the show notes once this show is over. And if they're members of either Monorail Silver or Monorail Gold, they're going to get access to exclusive videos, live streams from the parks in the future. We're going to do live Q&As. And if you are a member of Monorail Gold, we'll be setting up actual meetup events sometime in the next 6 months. We're going to do our first one. So get on board, folks. If you want, you don't have to, as always.
Yeah, because as we've said before, this show right here is always going to remain free for the people. But if you want to, put a couple extra dollary dues towards us, there are definitely perks for it, and even more perks coming that we're not even going to mention right now because we call that a tease.
That's true. We're going to make sure that all of our patrons are getting their content and feel like they're getting the value out of this.
1,000%.
We're going to deliver that value with content, but you know what? We're also going to put some money in your pockets with a brand new contest, and this is open for everybody. I'm so excited to finally announce our first ever Monorail Cocktail Challenge, probably the last one, because once we have these,
we're all going to be drunk.
Yeah. Well, but also, I mean, we'll have an official cocktail for the evening and the morning. I don't know. Maybe we eventually need one for the afternoon too.
Yes, you're finally getting on my level. Welcome to the Landon Zone, everybody.
Yeah, we are getting on Landon's level. Absolutely. And here's how we're doing it. I announced this on the social medias. The people who heard about it first were in the Patreon Discord. Actually, I think the first time I announced it was the Monorail Happy Hour on June 14th, the live show. So if you were part of that, you would have heard it there. But now I have the details official, typed out, shared on the socials, and ready to share with you here on the podcast. So if you would like to participate, here's how you do it. Break out your cocktail shakers and put on your thinking caps. It's time for a Morning Monorail cocktail contest. We want you to design a signature cocktail for the Morning Monorail. Wait, not just 1, 2. We're looking for an official Morning Monorail to enjoy with our Mickey waffles and an evening monorail to help us wind down after a long day in the parks. The winning drinks will be featured on our morningmonorail.com website with credit to the mixologist, and depending on how much we love them, we may just be drinking those during our Monday night happy hour shows as well. There are going to be 2 winners, one for the morning drink, one for the evening drink. Both of those winners will receive one $50 Disney gift card.
Ooh.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we do know that when you go down to Disney, you need to bring money, but $50, that's not an insignificant chunk of change while you're down in the House of the Mouse.
It's true. That can buy you a few tasty beverages, like 2 or 3.
Yeah, about 2 or 3. You can head over to Jock Lindsay and get that Bacon of Doom thing.
Oh my God.
6 pieces of candied bacon and a smoking cocktail, $32, but I am willing to pay that because that sounds awesome.
They say it's shareable. I don't know how much volume you're getting in that drink, but they do.
I read about 2 to 3 drinks. So, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to put it in the notes. I just saw it on my timeline.
That looks so cool.
Oh, we're going to do it. We're doing it. Next time you're in town, we're going to Jock Lindsay and getting the Bacon of Doom. We have to.
Hex to the yeah.
All right. Here are the rules for the cocktail contest. Entrants must be 21 years of age or older.
Mm-hmm.
Please submit your recipes to mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. Along with the recipe, tell us your name, where you're from, and let us know what inspired you to choose the ingredients for your delicious concoction. I'm just going to tell you right now, if you have some sort of a connection to this podcast or any of our personalities in some way, bonus points. I mean, with your inspiration to the recipe. That's what I'm saying.
Like if you like a particular member of this podcast who's drunk all the time, that will get you some points from one particular member of this podcast who is drunk all the time.
It could. Please also include a mailing address in the email in the event your cocktail is selected as a winner. Submissions must be received no later than 11:59 Eastern on June 30th, 2021. 3 finalists will be selected for both the morning and the evening version, and 2 winners will be selected via live taste test on our YouTube channel Friday, July 9th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Eastern.
We need to put that in the calendar right now.
Yeah, put it in there because you got to be there for that.
Well, yeah, I'm the professional drunk on this podcast. Of course I got to be there.
Here's one little fine print thing that you need to remember. No pineapple or tequila per Sam Monorail's request.
Mm-hmm. One will kill her and the other will kill the rest of us.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, everything else is fair game. If it sounds gross, it probably is not going to be selected as a finalist, so keep that in mind. We're not just going to drink your garbage.
I mean, I might, but I might not like it.
It will be kind of funny though, but still not going to drink it. All right. That's all the business. Now we can get to the Walt Disney World news. Lots of things going on. Things are returning. All the parks are reopened. I got a lot to say, but let's start with the big one right here. On June 17th, Josh D'Amaro addressed the fans of Disney. And we're talking Daddy D'Amaro here, guys. The chairman, Disney Parks Experiences and Products.
That's weird.
He took to the Disney Parks blog to thank fans and cast members for reaching a very important milestone. For the first time in 17 months, all Disney theme parks across the world are open to guests. Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy just to say it because it's been a long road. And
it has. These past 17 months have kind of, what's the term I'm looking for? Been terrible. So
yeah. And there were bumps along the way. There were hiccups. There were adjustments. I think the first park to reopen was Shanghai.
This right here is a Patreon exclusive, everybody, when the animals interject.
My dog cannot help herself from yelling anytime there's any kind of noise at the door. So I'm writing down an edit point. Okay. No, why? Recording. Why?
Because my car is in a condition.
In a condition?
The front seat belt is broken.
Yours?
My car.
No, your side? Your driver's seat belt is broken?
The passenger's.
Okay, but you're driving.
I know.
Oh. I'm recording all this, by the way. Okay. Please don't wreck my car. Can you pull it out of the garage?
Last words.
They're on my nightstand, I think. Oh, geez. We're
everything all right
around here.
Never a dull moment in the Monorail household.
Well, it's been nice knowing my car. Okay. I'm not worried about McKenna driving it. It's more about getting it out of the garage than anything. Okay. What was I doing? I have no idea where we were. Oh.
You were being interrupted by Yui.
I was.
And then we were talking about how the last 17 months have been a dumpster fire. We were talking about what the great, big, beautiful Josh D'Amaro said in his letter.
Okay. Well, I think what I said was, if I remember correctly, I think the first park that reopened was Shanghai, and then all the other parks started following suit after that. I can remember kind of watching the social media to see how things were going with the reopening overseas, and they were doing a reservation system. They were limiting capacity, but I think they actually they opened and then closed, if I remember right, and then
yeah.
So it just wasn't smooth sailing, to get back to this point. But as we've been saying every week when we bring you this really good news about things coming back, whether it be, a ride, a show, rehiring cast members, the Disney College program, all of those things, it's got to put a smile on your face, because it does feel like it has been a long and difficult road for so many people. And the fact that now all the parks are reopened again and people are gathering again, making memories, having a great time with people they love in some of these Disney parks is just really, really special. Feels like a great milestone.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah. Especially after all the dark times we've gone through over the last 17 months. Some of us have dealt with personal tragedies in our life, professional tragedies. Just to take this step back to normal, that term we like to use, because, we've been living in unprecedented times. It's nice to kind of get back to precedented times. Is that a term?
Well, it's kind of funny. This is something that I've been talking about with when these conversations have happened recently. People keep saying, I can't wait to get back to normal. Here's the thing, though. We're never really going to get back to normal. Normal has changed.
Yeah. The normal that we knew no longer is possible. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's just facts. We're never going to get back to exactly the way things used to be, but that's okay. In a lot of ways, I hope that there were some positives that came out of this that we will maintain. One of those being some of the new technology that Disney implemented along the way to make things a little more integrated and seamless for guests, not only at the resort, but in the parks. And then some of the different things, like some of the new character interactions, the cavalcades, the way the characters are randomly in the parks, sometimes like Winnie the Pooh catching butterflies in Epcot.
That's cool.
Different things like that. I hope there are things that they implemented during the times of COVID that end up staying as permanent fixtures in the parks. What do you think about that, Landon? Anything that has changed that you're hoping kind of sticks around?
The thing that comes to my mind in the parks is once Disney started reopening, they already had this technology beforehand, but they really leaned into the mobile order option and spread it out to almost all restaurants. I hope that stays implemented and they go even further and implement it at the restaurants, the bars, what have you, that don't have it right now. Now, it might be difficult to, get mobile ordering for a churro cart or something like that. But I hope that becomes the exception, not necessarily the rule. I hope that they keep implementing mobile order options. I'm a fan of virtual queues and stuff like that. Sometimes they're handled not that great, but I love the idea of it. And social distancing. I still want most of you to stay away from me, at least 6 feet.
I can tell you, being in that team yesterday, that is a thing of the past already.
Yeah, I know.
No more social distancing in the lines, in the shops, in the restaurants. That's not happening anymore, and that's okay. I mean, at least people hopefully are, being smart and safe about things and staying healthy as much as possible. But
And one thing outside of Disney, I like the ability to pretty much get everything delivered to my house now. That's really nice. And just curbside pickup for groceries. Are you kidding me? I never have to go into a Kroger or a Piggly Wiggly again. Sign me the heck up.
I wanted to just add on to, I love the mobile ordering functionality in my Disney experience. There are some things I think that they could continue to improve on. I do hope that they continue to expand it. I think every quick service location should have it.
Yes.
If it doesn't already, it should. One thing Universal does that Disney doesn't do that I wish that they would is at quick service locations, they ought to set it up to where you mobile order and then you can go to a table and Universal will have like a barcode on the table. You scan that after your order has been submitted, and then people, the team members bring you your food to your table.
Whoa, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's very, very good. I would love it if Disney would do that, because it does a couple of things. One, it makes it, service, extra service. You don't have to get your own food, bring it to the table. That's nice. But also what it does is hopefully it reserves tables for people who have ordered food, which is something that I think Disney needs to do a little bit better job of trying to make sure that guests are not just taking up tables and either haven't ordered or, They send a person to go hold down 3 tables while their big group goes and orders. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, and it also eliminates the thing of like, okay, I have a very full tray of food as I'm trying to find a table.
Yeah.
Oh God, somebody bumped into me, and now I'm wearing sketty and meatballs on my shirt.
Exactly. I also like that a lot of restaurants, like table service restaurants, added carry-out options, which was something that was brand new for Disney Resort. I hope that's something that sticks around too.
Absolutely.
So it'd be nice to be at Animal Kingdom Lodge and be able to get a carry-out bread service, take it back to the room, and just relax while you sit out on the balcony and stare at those animals.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah. Hey, while we're talking about that, great news. Animal Kingdom Lodge is going to fully reopen starting June 26th. This is cool because now Animal Kingdom Lodge has been open. The Kidani Village has been open. If you're, a DVC member, you could use it, but you could also rent DVC points and stay there. The only thing here is that they still haven't announced when Boma or Jico will reopen.
You'd have to imagine it'll be somewhere in that time frame.
Yeah. I hope so. Oh, did I say June? I misspoke. I am sorry. Not June 26th, August 26th. I wrote June 26th on my notes. I'm glad I double checked. August 26th. That did seem very soon to me. It would be.
It's like, so like not next week, but week after.
Yeah. My fault. August 26th. But that does mean in time for the 50th anniversary, Disney opening up some additional rooms because there's going to be more people that are coming to the resort to celebrate that 50th anniversary.
Yeah, a couple people might come in for that.
I have to imagine that Boma and Jico are going to reopen too. Why would they not open the restaurants if it's going to be a full resort?
Exactly. Yeah. And they do want to have the dining options for people staying and in the AK Lodge. And I mean, there's money to be made. So and Disney's going to make that money.
Yeah. And it is a little difficult unless you want to hop in your car, if you have a car, or potentially walk to the McDonald's that's nearby the Animal Kingdom Lodge, which it would be a bit of a walk. I don't really recommend that.
You could burn your calories before you eat a calorie burger. So,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could get an Uber and go over to the Solar McDonald's.
But then you would be sitting in the back of an Uber, be like, I really made the choice to get an Uber to go to a McDonald's. And then you would just start questioning all the choices you've made in your life that led you to that one moment.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But if if you're staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge right now, your only options are Sanaa or the pool bars because those are open, and they have some limited food options unless you want to leave the resort. So the more people there, all of that being said, I think that must mean those restaurants, Jico and Boma, hopefully will come back when the rest of the resort opens. So I'm crossing my fingers. Sometimes I'm right about my speculation. Sometimes I'm wrong. I would put maybe a 70% chance that those restaurants come back when the full resort opens.
I mean, you wildly speculated correctly on fireworks last week. So let's go ahead and head back over to Speculation Station and say they will be reopening when AK Lodge opens back up.
Yeah.
Let's call it the AK Lounge.
The AK Lounge. That's Nomad Lounge, my friend.
That is, yep, home of the Wooder song.
The Wooder song and Dim Ribs.
Oh, Dim Ribs.
So if you're an AK Lodge fan, this is really good news, but I would highly recommend watching to see when you can start making reservations. I don't know if it said in this particular article, but if that's something that we pick up at some point, I can share that on the socials. Yeah, I don't see that information here. But you just mentioned it. We might as well go ahead and say it now. It has officially been confirmed. Fireworks are returning to Walt Disney World as of July 1st.
Yeah, baby.
Just in time for Chicken Nugget's birthday.
And also America's birthday. So,
Yeah, but Chicken Nuggets is the first. So
that is true. Yeah.
Officially, this is for Chicken Nugget's birthday. It's funny. We were talking about this yesterday, and he said, it's nice to have a birthday on the 1st because it kind of like feels like that whole month is yours. And I said, or America's. And he was like,
no, is somebody who has a birthday on April the 1st, the entire month, that's ours. So I get where the nug's coming from.
Yeah. But yes, this is fantastic news. Happily Ever After, presented by Pandora Jewelry. will transform Cinderella Castle with lights, projections, and pyrotechnics. As moments of your favorite Disney stories encourage you to grab hold of your dreams and make them come true. Happily Ever After. This is going to tie into our Fast Pass standby snack break this week. Such a fantastic show. Very, very excited for that to come back. In addition to that, Epcot Forever is returning to Epcot.
Well, I mean, it's forever, Jay. It's right there in the name.
I never should have doubted it.
Yeah, because didn't it have like a couple month run? Then the world caught on fire, and everybody's like, "Well, Epcot Forever's done."
Yeah,
not so fast.
That I would like to know. Well, I guess now you couldn't say this, but that had to be the shortest run for any nighttime show at any park in Disney history. Because, gosh, it probably only got 5 months at most.
If that, yeah, I was gonna say like it might even be fewer months than that. But it's like I feel like when we were doing an M3 4D, particularly in Epcot, wasn't there a nighttime show or some sort of show that had like just a like you blink and miss it run?
I think there was one that lasted a season. That really weird one that we talked about that now I can't remember the name of.
Oh, with like the kites and the boats,
dragons.
Yeah, that thing was weird.
Yeah, that might have lasted just 1 or 2 seasons, but it was pretty short. But Epcot Forever, I think, set the record for the shortest run. But it is coming back, so it's going to add a little bit to its run here. My concern is you now have these giant eyesore barges in the middle of World Showcase Lagoon.
Oh, here we go, the GD barges.
Well, I'm a little bit concerned because if you remember, one of the best parts of Epcot Forever were the kites that go around World Showcase Lagoon during the show. And those kites are pulled by wave runners out on the lagoon, and it is dark because it is a nighttime spectacular. Isn't it maybe a little hazardous for those wave runners?
That is a fair point. I first of all, yes, that is very hazardous for those wave runners. I wouldn't be surprised if Epcot Forever, the version we knew, not going to be coming back. I think we might be getting an altered version of Epcot Forever. By the way, Happily Ever After will start at 9:15 every night starting July 1st, and then Epcot Forever 10 p.m. starting July 1st.
Okay. Yeah, bizarre. I'm a little surprised. It's crazy that they're going to bring back the fireworks, but they're not just starting with Harmonious. It must just be that Harmonious is going to kick off in October.
Yeah, this tells me they're not ready for Harmonious, or they are saving it for the October 1st when, a handful of people will be coming down.
Yeah, a handful for sure.
Yep.
Staying at the AK Lodge.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody's pumped for the AK Lounge. Because you also have to remember October 1st is kind of a big deal in Epcot as well, not just in the Magic Kingdom. We got Remy opening up.
That's true.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do see October 1st, brand new fireworks show.
Yeah. I guess we should mention we have heard there will not be special fireworks for July 4th or for Boo Bash, according to news outlets so far.
And but there will be regularly scheduled fireworks happening both on July 4th and Boo Bash night. So it's not like they're just completely scrapping fireworks for those handful of days. It's like I'm still not 100% sold that we won't have some sort of Halloween themed fireworks for the Boo Bash. Like with July 4th being less than a month away, yeah, probably not going to have a July the 4th special fireworks show. But with there being so much time between when now and Boo Bash starting, I'm still not 100% sold on the Boo Bash part of that report.
Yeah. We'll see if they don't do it. And this is something I was talking with Dr. Jacqueline about over on the YouTube. She likes to comment on our YouTube rebroadcast of the podcast. Why would Disney add special fireworks to Boo Bash? Ticket sales have been fine. People seem willing to go regardless.
That's a fair point. I mean, when we recorded last week, Halloween was sold out. There have been several other dates of the Boo Bash sellout since then. So, I mean, clearly there are people that want to pay these prices to go to this after hours party. So, I mean, yeah, Dr. Jacqueline makes a good point. What is the incentive for Disney to pour extra money into making a Halloween themed fireworks show when they're already getting their money?
Yeah. And fireworks shows are expensive. I mean, that's a pretty big chunk of revenue you're cutting into if you're going to do a special Boo Bash show. And they just don't have to. But again, that also ties into Boo Bash is more akin to an after hours event as opposed to
Not so scary. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there you go. I'm going to say, if we're going to speculate on this show, I'm going to say it's going to stay this way and there will not be special fireworks for Boo Bash.
Jay, why do you hate Boo Bash?
I don't hate it.
That's not what I just heard. That's not just what the listener heard. Right, listener?
I'm hoping for you they do. I mean, you and your mom are going, so.
Dang right we are. We're going to have fun.
Maybe at least they could do a stage show or something. That's something they could add easily, I think. If they just brought in, they could do the villains take the night thing like they did for
that could be cool.
Hours. Yeah.
And another reason I'm I'm a honk for fireworks, but my mom is a honk with the capital honk for fireworks. And one of the reasons I'm excited that fireworks are coming back is when my 60-day window opens for those advanced dining reservations, the California Grill is reopened, so we can book that reservation time where we can be dining and watch fireworks from the Magic Kingdom. So I am pumped that that is coming back.
Yeah. For those, I don't know if there are people that listen to this show that wouldn't know this, but California Grill is located at the top of the Contemporary, or as I like to call it, the Scrim Temporary right now, because it is totally covered in canvas. If you go through the Grand Canyon Concourse right now, which we did last night on the monorail, all of the atrium is covered with brown canvas. It's gross. It looks not good. I hope people that are staying there right now are getting a discount, but
you know they're not. Disney ain't gonna give discounts. Come on, dummy.
It's probably not. But you can actually book a reservation at the California Grill for any time during the day, and as long as you hang on to your receipt, you can come back that night and watch the fireworks from the balcony on top of the Contemporary. So you don't necessarily have to time your meal with the fireworks. However, if you do, it just makes it that much more magical. So
my only concern would be if you do book it at a table like I'm thinking about doing for my mom, can we request a window where we can actually see the fireworks, or is it going to be like the fish restaurant in Epcot where it's like, yeah, you can look at the fish, but they're like, on the other side of the room?
So see, that is a fair question, because when Sam, the kids, and I went to California Grill, this was during the time where there were not fireworks happening at Magic Kingdom, so it didn't matter to us, but they put us in a room where if we had been seated at our table, we couldn't have even seen the castle and fireworks from where we were. I mean, like, we were around the corner, so we would have had to get up and walk to the balcony to go watch it, which here's the thing. You can always request. When you talk to the cast member, when you're checking in for your reservation, you can always request. This is like when you go to be our guest at Magic Kingdom. If you want to sit in the West Wing, you just have to tell them, hey, it would be awesome, and be nice about it, and just let them know that it's not like a deal breaker, but just be like, it would be awesome if we could sit in the West Wing. And then they'll basically say, we'll see if we can accommodate that. And if they can, they will locate you where you requested. So my recommendation is, doesn't hurt to ask when you check in. Tell them you'd love to have a table by the window where you can maybe see the fireworks, but there's no guarantee that they can do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's fine. So,
you say it's fine, but at the same time, if I was in y'all's situation and one of the draws to California Grill is to watch the fireworks, part of me would be a little not happy.
But
I don't want to say I would have gone Karen, but
it's a little disappointing. Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone Karen, by the way. Never go Karen.
From our table, we really didn't have a lot to look at because we were facing the opposite direction from the park. So it wasn't like a beautiful view while we're eating, but we did get to get up, and they have two different balconies you can go out on. One of them is like on the side of the Magic Kingdom. The other's on the other side. It's really nice, very pretty. And if you can't see anything from your table, you're, more than welcome to get up and go out on the balcony and watch from there. Just make sure that, you take your valuables with you. I don't know.
Also, maybe let your waiter know so they don't think you're dining and dashing.
I'm sure they know.
I would hope so. They'd be like, this happens every night. Yeah. Why?
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, fireworks. Fireworks are good. And I do love the music for Epcot Forever, by the way. It's good music. Well, I've said my piece about Epcot Forever. So we can move on from there. I'm sure that there are people that think it's amazing, and that's fine. Last thing I wanted to talk about that has returned is single rider has returned for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And that's awesome if you don't mind being an engineer, because
you will be an engineer. Sorry, them's the shakes.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So like, if you just want to ride, like I know our friend Frank from Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz, he always says like for him, it's good enough to like be able to step onto the Millennium Falcon, get in that cockpit and just like soak up the atmosphere of the thing. And if that's you, single rider can save you a ton of time because usually it's like 10, 15-minute wait. However, if you are really dead set on being a gunner or a pilot, you're going to have to wait and stand by for sure.
Yeah. And I wish this was implemented when I was down, I guess at this point last month, because we talked about on my report episode, I waited in the entire queue over an hour and I ended up being an engineer. And let me tell you, that was not a good way to spend my time in the park. Like, is Smuggler's Run awesome? Yes. Being able to stand, look at the space chessboard and be like, yeah, I'm in the Falcon. This is awesome. Oh, I get to walk into the cockpit. Being in the cockpit was awesome, but no, it's like, and I get to stare at the wall the entire time and hit flashing buttons and not be able to look out into the ride, look out of the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. That's a bummer. Like, if I had it to do over again, I wouldn't have, if I'm being completely honest.
No, I'm with you. I would have skipped it too. So I don't blame you.
I will say it's like that's coming from somebody who has ridden Smuggler's Run more than once. But so like if you've never been on Smuggler's Run, I would totally say yes, get in line just for the experience, going through the queue, seeing Hondo, like being on the Falcon. That's awesome. But if you've done it once, it's like not worth your time, in my opinion.
I think that's totally fair. I'm with you.
Well, and another thing that came back, staying in Hollywood Studios, is some pre-show stuff, namely Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, a ride that I was blown away by. And you said on my report episode that I need to experience the pre-show. So I have something to look forward to for a ride that already blew me away. So I'm very excited to see this.
Yeah, it's back. It is back now. I want to say this is maybe one of these things, an the for the future. So note to the producer, best pre-shows across the parks. I would definitely put this in the running. Is it the best? Maybe not, because there's a lot of really good competitors here. However, I would say that the transition from pre-show to ride is maybe the most impressive and immersive of any ride I can think of at Disney. So yeah, it is very, very good. And it just really something that you missed out on. I know you see it, but like when you exit the ride now, or well, before the pre-show came back, you walk out, you're in the barn, and then you walk through the screen and you can see as you're walking towards it, it says the end on the screen. And if you
and there's a tear in the screen and like right below the screen too.
Yeah. And like, so if you step through and turn around, then it says the end the right way. It's very cool. It's a really neat thing. It just ties it all together when that pre-show is fully functioning. So I do, without spoiling anything, I highly recommend that if you only have experienced Runaway Railway without the pre-show, you got to go back. I mean, I know you will anyways, but you got to go back and do it with the pre-show because it just, start to finish, a great experience for sure.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that. It's like when you told me there was something that I was missing out on, I was like, oh, cool. Like there's going to be a new experience to a ride I already thought highly of, but to hear it's for sure going to be up and running. I mean, I think it already is, but it's going to be up and running by the time I get back in October. It's like, all right, well, me and my mom, we're going to do exactly what I did the day I got to Hollywood Studio. When it opens, when we get there, beeline right to the Chinese theater.
Yeah. And you may end up doing it more than once.
Yep. Just like I did. That was so awesome.
Like you did that day. Yeah. So good. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's such good news. All this stuff coming back. We keep saying nature is healing. Last week, you brought up the word normalcy, which I think is hilarious because that makes it sound evil.
Ooh, I hadn't thought about that. It's normal, but evil.
Yeah. I pronounce it normalcy, but I appreciate the normalcy because that just
It's like Normal and Malice ran into each other and had a really messed up kid who had some trauma earlier in his life, like couldn't make friends, ended up finding out he's the spawn of the devil.
Mhm.
Wait, no, I'm just describing the Omen. Never mind.
And I would describe that as normalcy. For sure. But it's all good, and this is a happy time. Happy times at the Walt Disney World Resort. So if you were kind of holding off to come back until we started really like getting most of the experiences back and waiting until mask requirements were rolled back and social distancing, all that stuff, I think now's the time. I mean, especially if you waited till July, you get fireworks. So.
Yep. I mean, as long as you've had your Fauci ouchies and stuff like that, because I mean, like mask requirements are pretty much non-existent at this point, except on transportation in Walt Disney World. And we've seen a lot of rides that had the plexiglass dividers be removed this week. Like I think it was Jeremy. I saw him post on Twitter that they've removed the plexiglass from the safari. I would imagine Living with the Land
is gone. Yep.
Yeah. Frozen has to be gone at this point. So I mean, like this really. We're not going to be able to get back to what we had before the world caught fire, but we're getting closer to what we had before the world caught fire.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good stuff. And I'm really excited. Now we just got to get some of these shows back. We got to get the performers back, get the shows back.
Yep.
And we'll be in great shape by that point.
And also fast passes for those shows because I don't want to wait 90 minutes, 2 hours for Festival of the Lion King.
Oh man,
that was brutal.
You're not lying. Haha, you're not lying.
I see what you did there. It's funny because it's a lion and oh man, Jay, you're so good at this.
This is what happens when you've been talking for like 3 years about Disney stuff. Puns just naturally roll out of your mouth.
Some good stuff. Brought a tear to my eye, buddy. Also,
so a couple things. Oh, I did want to mention just on top of what you said, the mask thing. So yesterday, had we chosen to ride the ferry to Magic Kingdom and back, we would not have had to put on our mask at all yesterday.
Yep. That's right, because it's out in the open. I think that might be the only park transportation that's like that, though.
Yeah, you're right. The ferries are exempt because they are out in the open. You can space out. It's an open environment. The monorail, however, if you do want to ride it, as soon as you step into line, they ask you to put your mask on, and you have to wear it until you exit the monorail, either at the Magic Kingdom station or back at the TTC. So that's something to keep in mind. If you would prefer just not to wear one at all, then you're going to be riding the ferry, and I will judge you because the monorail is better, and we all know it. But
I love how you said you're going to judge them, not for their decision to wear a mask or not, just because they chose the ferry over the monorail. I totally get it, and I'd back that up, but I think that's funny.
Correct. That's how we roll here on the monorail. Monorail is supreme, and everyone should know it.
I mean, it's in our gimmick and everything.
Hey, there were two things I experienced for the first time yesterday. I know, again, as we always do, we've run a little bit long on time. So here's what I'm going to do. We did go to Tony's Town Square. I got to mark an edit point.
Producer Mark. Oh, and this week it's you editing. Sweet, I don't got to deal with this.
Well, that's why I'm writing this down. Makes it easier on me, buddy.
Oh, so you wouldn't have done this if I was producing. I appreciate the love.
Hey, if you're producing, it's up to you to write down your own edit points.
Well, you know I'm drunk when we do this. I'm not going to remember to write this down. Come on. Though we are getting a lot of really good stuff for our secret sound.
It's true. Let me wait till this. There'll be a second round of barking when they come in the door. So
she has to protect this house.
We're gonna let her tire herself out. It's appropriate. UA wears Under Armour around the house.
Yep.
My goodness. This is what podcasting is, people.
This is fantastic.
This is podcasting.
How many people are walking into your house?
It's a parade.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, do you have more guests you didn't plan on?
Are we safe? I think we're safe.
All right.
So here's what I think I'm going to do. I think we're going to hold off on the Tony's Town Square review. In fact, I think I might do it as a separate show completely. And that could be bonus content on the Patreon.
Ooh.
God bless.
There it is. Yeah. UA. Uh-oh. Hold on. Zoe's get. Oh no, she's just readjusting. We're fine.
Okay, now I think we're good. Here's what I'm thinking. Since we've gone long on news, as we typically do, I think I'm going to hold off on the Tony's Town Square review. In fact, I think I'm going to make it a separate episode that I will share directly to the Patreon and maybe a little bit later share to our free feed. Like,
okay, I like
give
that.
Patreon a little head start on the Tony's Town Square review. But here's one thing I do want to say. I tried the buffalo chicken spring rolls yesterday. Here's two things I want to tell you about this.
Ooh, the new hotness.
Yes, the new hotness from the Adventureland spring roll cart. Number one, no pepperoni pizza spring rolls.
So they are gone. We can confirm.
Confirm, not available right now.
Oh, that's a bummer.
You can get cheeseburger and you can get buffalo chicken. No pepperoni. You can't do the triple play, which I totally would have done yesterday. But you can now. What you can do? They're $9.
Hold on. Did you come up with the triple play?
Yeah,
that's fantastic. I love it.
We could call it the hat trick. I don't know. You can't get all three because they're not available. You can get both. So here's the way that it works. It's $9.50 for 2 spring rolls, and you can choose to get 2 cheeseburger or 2 buffalo chicken spring rolls, or you can say it's actually on the sign, one of each.
Mm-hmm. Option C if you're looking at the menu.
Yeah, it's $9.50. No matter which way you slice it. So here's my recommendation. If you have never had the buffalo chicken spring roll, I would say stick to the cheeseburger.
Wow. That is disappointing because like I love buffalo chicken. I love spring rolls. You would think that'd be a slam dunk combination. And especially for somebody who is pickle adverse like myself, because I know in the cheeseburger spring rolls, daggone pickles are in there. So that's a no-go for me. But you're still saying stick with the cheese. Wow.
Yeah. I did make a video of my taste test, by the way. Another thing I'll be sharing on the Patreon. But here's the thing. It was a little dry. The chicken was like slightly a little too dry. Like it wasn't as saucy as I would have liked it. They do give you a buttermilk ranch dipping sauce, which I feel like was necessary, in my opinion. Wow. If I hadn't had the ranch, I don't think I would have really even wanted to have a whole one myself. Like it just
not even go for the second one, finish one.
Yeah, not like I wanted to share them with Garrett. He wasn't interested, so I had to eat them myself. I would have preferred if he had half of the buffalo chicken one because for me, it just wasn't that good. The cheeseburger one, I know what it tastes like. To me, it tastes like a White Castle or a Crystal Burger. That's what it tastes like to me. I think it's the onions. It's like the cooked onions.
Oh, fantastic. There's onions in there too. Fantastic.
Yeah, I really think that's what makes it taste that way to me. But that comes with this white mystery sauce that I don't really know what's in it. I think it's like it's not.
Had to be a better way to phrase that.
It's not tartar sauce. I don't know what it is. It's like maybe mayonnaise mixed with a little bit of Thousand Island or something, but it is white. I cannot tell you what it is. It's definitely mixed up by the Disney people because like the ranch comes in like a sealed package that you have to open. The sauce that they give you with the cheeseburger spring rolls is in like a ramekin, like a plastic ramekin with a snap top. So it's something of their own design. I can't tell you what it is, but it's good. I'll just tell you, now that I'm fresh off a taste test of the buffalo chicken and the cheeseburger spring roll, there's no way I would take either one of those over the pepperoni pizza with the marinara sauce. It's just better.
And that seems to be the, I guess, everybody comes to that conclusion that the pepperoni pizza spring roll was where it's at. So the fact that they've just straight up eliminated that option, that's disappointing. Now this might not be something you were thinking for people like me that don't like onions and stuff like that. Is there anything in the buffalo chicken spring roll that would keep me from, apparently, according to you, other than the taste, that would keep me from liking this?
I picked up when I was eating the buffalo chicken spring roll, I took a bite of it without the sauce, and then I totally went full sauce.
It's like, need more sauce.
Yeah, after that. I feel like there's definitely celery mixed up in there.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I think there's even a little hint of blue cheese crumbles.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
So if you're okay with those flavors, they're in there. For me, that's what I felt like.
Interesting ranch and blue cheese.
Yeah,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
But I think they went blue cheese crumble in the spring roll, and then they went dipping sauce with the ranch. I really don't know why. But all in all, it's if you're like a huge buffalo chicken fan, I think it's fine. But you do have the loaded buffalo chicken tots over at Friar's Nook that you could just go over there and get that if you need your buffalo chicken fix.
That we talked about last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would you compare the heat of the buffalo chicken spring roll to the buffalo chicken tots?
Oh, the spring rolls are not spicy. They
Like
weren't.
at all?
Not at all. No, not to me.
Wow. Huh. Okay.
And I feel like the tots do have a little bit of heat to them. So
I mean, you don't want it to be overpowering because like I mean we talked about it last week. It's like they're those people that want to be able to see through time with their spice, but it's like if you're getting anything buffalo, you expect a little bit of heat.
I think so. I think that goes with the territory. Otherwise,
I mean, yeah, like that's the entire gimmick.
Yeah. People get like mild buffalo sauce on their wings sometimes because some people just really like the buffalo flavor. But I call those people babies. Get a little diaper change, babies. Enjoy your mild buffalo sauce. I'm just kidding. I know that some people just can't take the spice. It's fine.
Shot caller Jay over here. Wow. Apparently your take is hotter than the actual buffalo chicken in the spring roll.
Oh, I'm not trying to take anybody down. I know that people have different levels of spice tolerance. I'm not a person who wants to have ghost peppers on everything I eat, but I do like a little tingle and some heat with. If I'm going to eat something spicy, I want to experience that spice. If it makes my nose run and my eyes water, that's fine. I don't want to be in pain later on the toilet. That's what I'd like to avoid.
Also fair. Ringing endorsement. It won't make you hurt on the toilet.
It won't.
Justin Monorail.
Hey, one positive. You will not experience the Johnny Cash classic Ring of Fire. So if that's what you're going for, give them a try. I'm just saying, they're not awful, but I was disappointed. That's all.
And it's like, especially when you know what they're taking the place of. Yeah. I can understand why you're disappointed.
Yep. If you think each roll is $4.75 essentially, I wouldn't pay $4.75 for one of those.
For one.
Nah. No thank you. No thank you. No thank you. All right. That's all the content that I had planned today. But Landon, I know the show isn't over because we got the segment coming up next.
Absolutely. We already talked about it. It is the return of fireworks to the Walt Disney World Resort and also Disneyland too, starting, I believe, on July 4th, appropriate enough for fireworks. It is this week's Fast Pass Standby Snack Break. Oh, hold on. Edit point. Sorry, I opened a new tab and it completely wonked with my Facebook. Right here.
Wonk.
Yep. All right. Each week, we will have you rank three items that are similar to each other. We're talking attractions, snacks, shows, etc. And then we're going to rank them. If you want to fast pass something, that is your top choice and something you definitely do not want to miss out on. If you want to stand by something, well, it's not your top choice, but it's still something you don't want to miss out on and you'd be willing to wait in line for. And if you want to snack break something, well, you might go grab a snack while your party does this, but you're a good guy and or girl. You'll watch the purses and or bags. So did say we're talking about the return of the fireworks. So we are going to rank specifically nighttime fireworks shows in the Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom only. So we're talking Happily Ever After. We're talking Wishes. And we're talking Fantasy in the Skies. So building off what we did last week, we are going to start in the Discord channel of our Patreons. If you want to guarantee that your answer gets read on the air, and you might make me and Jay say some really, really wacky, crazy, nonsensical stuff, other than the wacky, crazy, nonsensical stuff we already say, be sure and sign up. Head over to the Patreon. That's patreon.com/morningmonorail. And you can guarantee to get your answer read on this very fine podcast. So, Jay, Maestro, since you're driving this daggone monorail, why don't you kick us off?
Certainly, sir. We're going to start with our friend Lee Taylor. He's over there in the UK living the life.
Across the pond, if you will.
enjoying fish and chips and whatnot. So Lee is going to fast pass Happily Ever After. This is the one I've seen the most, but is also the one that resonates with me more. I love the fact this has so many different experiences depending on where you are stood. That first line by Jordan gets me every time. We have this playing regularly through our home randomly. randomly.
Well, they're across the pond. We don't know how those people live, Jim.
That's true. Standby. Wishes. This was the fireworks show that ruined all other displays for me, period. Loved everything about it and would not have been upset if they hadn't replaced it. However, Happily Ever After gives just a little more, in my opinion. Snack break, Fantasy in the Sky. This is purely because I've never seen it, which may be a theme. And my current fragile WDW withdrawn mental state can't take scratchy home video style YouTube recordings. So I'm going to leave it as this and my happy self with having seen and loved both Happily Ever After and Wishes. Very good. Thank you, Lee.
Strong answers from Lee. Next up, we're going to go with our friend, new Patreon member, Steffers. She's going to fast pass Happily Ever After because it will always hold a special place in her heart because Jackson proposed during the finale. And I totally get that kind of topping all other firework shows, past, present, probably future as well. Standby Wishes because it's another classic. And we'll go ahead and get into the standby because she finishes her answer. Frankly, I don't remember Fantasy in the Sky. And then she says, see previous post above. She goes on to say, I will say that I will YouTube videos of Wishes and Fantasy in the Sky so I can make a more informed decision, but my fast pass will not change.
So now we have to know, did she ever actually do that? We can't confirm if she actually did that.
Yeah, we absolutely cannot confirm, so we will wildly speculate and say maybe.
Okay. Next up, we've got Kevin. Kevin says, I think I've only seen two out of three of these, so based literally on that, Fast Pass Happily Ever After because I like the name of it the most, and I definitely remember seeing it. Standby Wishes because I saw this one. Snack Break. Fantasy in the Sky, I don't think I've seen. It's a great name for a non-prescription drug, though.
I don't disagree with him on that last point. I would like to be tripping blanks on Fantasy in the Sky.
It's true. Sounds.
And he also included a gift that got a lot of play in our Patreon Discord channel this week. Firework boobs from Katy Perry. That gif was everywhere, and also it awoke into something in me. So.
Congratulations on that.
Next up, we got Lewis, and of course, I have to pick the one that's a dadgum novel. So everybody buckle up. Here we go. Okay, wow, this is the hardest choice, though I guess this has been done. I don't know what I could choose based on music. Sadly, I have no memories like Steffers to come close to proposing during one of these. My memories are mostly sitting/standing uncomfortably, trying to hold a spot where a person who's 6'10" doesn't get in front of me just as it starts, then puts his 15-year-old child on their shoulders. First of all, I would have loved to have seen pictures of a 6'10" man put a 15-year-old on their shoulders. I mean, that would be like, what, at least like 11 feet tall of clearance? That's hilarious. Fast Pass Wishes. I don't remember if they had projections near the end, but I'm thinking pre-projections. Just lights on the castle, Jiminy freaking Cricket, and Tinkerbell zipping across the sky. I prefer a firework-centric show to be mostly about the big boom and lighting up the sky. Music and narration don't take away, but having to see the castle, well, distracts. Plus, I love how catchy the music was in that I heard the tune in my head just thinking about it. Most fun was the fact that I never knew the words, but still sang along to the song around the house and in the car as some nonsensical set of words like all my fishes will be glue that Val Pal Mickey doesn't exactly like as much as I do. Standby Fantasy in the Sky. I don't remember specifically of this from our first few trips, but I do think it was a pretty firework-centric show, not unlike Wishes, which I do have vague memories of hearing of the change, I think. As in all of these, like Jamie Heineman of Mythbusters would say, Lewis like Big Boom. Bonus points for a Mythbusters reference.
Right.
Fun fact, I burned bootleg Mythbusters DVDs back in the day just so I could watch them whenever I wanted to. They don't work anymore, but I did do that. And then Snack Break Fantasy. Snack break, happily ever after. I love projection shows. I love projection shows with fireworks. Looking at you, Star Wars Galaxy Spectacular. But I don't like it as much when the projections are constant and the fireworks are too. I want to focus on the sky, the wind, the boom. Music can work because it works on different set of senses. Music fails sometimes because the speed of the sound doesn't exactly match up with the speed of light. So it boom seems out of sync with the music. If you try too hard, though, that is not too much of an issue with any of these that I can remember. And then Lewis included some pictures of fireworks. So once again, pictures are encouraged. Also, I now have to go lay down because I'm going to pass out.
Yes, you do deserve a break after that one. That was
Or
a
a
Lewis
whiskey.
answer. It was a Lewis answer.
Hey, I love it though. I love it. And one more time, hold on. Let's see, where is it? All my fishes will be glue.
For those of you who want to hear some professionals sing wishes, go back and listen to our Mousker Awards. Was that 2019 we did that?
Oh God, it was. But wow, that was a long time ago.
I think that was March 2019.
And we closed it with wishes.
We did a sing along of wishes, including cousin Kevin singing along with us. It was fun.
Yep, and then we got sued because we didn't have the rights for that.
Well, no one's going to sue us. It didn't sound anything like wishes.
Yeah, which by the way, if you want me to sing something for you, like maybe a voicemail message, we will add that tier to the Patreon.
Sure. That sounds like you just want to start your own cameo.
I'm fine with that. By the way, I am now announcing I'm starting a cameo.
There you go.
In addition to my OnlyFans, where I'm the sexy Quaker Oats guy.
You got to be hustling, man. Always be hustling.
AB Dub, always be working, baby.
Yeah, there you go. All right. We're going to follow Lewis up with Val. And I wanted to do it this way because her response cracks me up directly in response to the made up lyrics to Wishes. So she says, this one was a little easier for me to decide. Fast Pass, Happily Ever After. Through all of our years of fireworks spectaculars at Disney, this was the first one to make me cry, and I cry every time. I am not generally a Tinkerbell fan, but when she takes off in this show, it's just perfect. Stand By, Fantasy in the Sky. I should remember this show, but honestly, I do not. It would have been our first when we started going to Disney yearly, but I have no clear memory of it, so I would like to see it again. Snack Break, Wishes. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but it wasn't my favorite, and I think the reason lies with Lewis. He would sing the theme song with silly words so much, I got to the point of really disliking it.
I mean, like on the one hand, I do think it would be funny, but on the other hand, if you had to listen to silly lyrics to Wishes all the time, I kind of get Val's point.
I just think that's so funny. It's such a dad move, making up false lyrics to songs and singing them so much that it drives everyone crazy. That sounds like something I would do. So, Lewis, I'm on your side on this one.
Of course, you sign off on this one. I'm going to combine two answers, both non-answers. Shout out to Skipper Bob. Normally I bugger off before nighttime falls since I had early morning work hours for so long. I'll abstain this week. I get that, Skipper Bob. And then Tony, the Disney dad, I have seen none of these in person. I've seen the Christmas fireworks as we tend to go around the holidays. I too must abstain this week. Also, the Dawes, quote, this was the hardest one, end quote.
Nice.
They're always the hardest, and I love it.
Some say this was the easiest, and we'll get to that.
I if I had to agree with one camp, I think I would agree this was the easiest.
All right. Next up, we got Lexi. She says, Fast Pass, Happily Ever After. I accidentally wandered onto YouTube when I first got my Oculus and literally spent the entire video bawling my eyes out.
Wait. That's an option in VR? You can watch fireworks shows?
Sure.
Oh, my God.
She said,
hold on. I got to go order a VR rig right now.
All right. Get on that. She says, do I have issues? Yes. Is this Disney show magical? Abso-freaking-lutely. And that wondrous connection between fantasy and real emotion is why I fast passed this one. Stand By, Wishes. I remember this one, which I can't say about the third option. And I feel it was magical because it's somehow stuck in my core memories. But the little kid singing Wishes does haunt me a little bit. Oh, it's so sweet, Lexi.
Mm-hmm. Right in the heart. Right in the heart.
And then she snack breaks Fantasy in the Sky. Was this a thing? Personally surprised you didn't do Illuminations, but understand what you were going for. I don't know. And unfortunately for it, that is why I will take a pass. Hold everyone's bags and go get a cheeseburger spring roll, which I recommend over the buffalo chicken spring roll, of course. So, Lexi, shout out to Lexi because she joined us on the Monday or the morning monorail happy hour this past Monday. So we got to talk to her in person for the first time. That was fun.
Fantastic. Awesome. Love that. Which, by the way, everybody whose answers I've read previously, they're my favorite members of the Monorail fam.
Okay.
And we're going to close out the Patreon Discord with Theme Park Rob. Fast Pass. Oh, he says this was the easiest one so far. Yep, there it is. There it is. Fast Pass Happily Ever After. The first time I saw this, I couldn't absorb it all. There was so much going on, but watching it online a few times and then seeing it in the park 8 or 9 times, I really fell in love with all aspects of it. The timing of the pyros, the projections, the fantastic soundtrack. It's just such a roller coaster of emotions, especially the Aladdin Genie scene, Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel from Scrooge, for those of you wondering, by the way, Stand By Wishes. It had an amazing soundtrack, but I only saw it once other than on YouTube and really doesn't measure up to Happily Ever After. And Snack Break Fantasy in the Sky. I just never had the opportunity to experience this one in person, and watching fireworks on TV is just Yeah, and I kind of get that.
It's true.
It is true. So at this point, we will pivot over to the Facebook group and read a couple answers off of there.
Let's do it. We're going to start with Sabra.
What up, Sabra?
Chiming in this week. She says she never saw Fantasy in the Sky. Join the club. So I'll place that number 3.
Lots of people in this club.
Yeah. Tough call for first and second. In 2002, I saw Wishes for the first time and many, many more to come and teared up for each, as the imagination alone got me. But in 2019, I think, when Happily Ever After came along, holy tear fest. The imagination blew me away. With all that being said, number 2, Wishes, I'm guessing Stand By, and number 1, Fast Pass goes Happily Ever After. I sing to myself and tear up towards the end every single time I watch them, whether it's in front of the castle or from the beach at the Poly. Yup, tear up every time.
I get that. I get that. I'm going to head over next to my favorite member of the Monorail family. It's Missy, longtime listener, first-time poster. By the way, Missy gets points here because I actually hear that line in my day job. Fast Pass Wishes. I've always been a huge Diz nerd, and my husband had just gone along with it, but I believe Wishes is what brought him over to the Diz nerddom with me. Aside from the nostalgia, the show, the music, all of it, smiley emoji face, chef hand emoji. I love it. Stand By Happily Ever After. If Wishes had to be replaced, this was a suitable alternative with an eye rolly emoji. I love the use of emojis. Very nice. I guess I should let go of my bitterness long enough to admit it's a pretty fantastic show in its own rights. And Stand By has already been read, so we're going to Snack Break Fantasy in the Sky. If I snack break the Left Coast show, that means I get to try the Disneyland churros I've heard so much about, right? And then Jay, you weigh in, so if you want to take it from here.
Yeah, well, so I thought that this might come up as confusion for some people because, yes, they did do Fantasy in the Sky in California as well. However, even though people here seem to have no knowledge of it or remember it, Fantasy of the Sky ran for 30 years in the Magic Kingdom on the East Coast.
That's hilarious. Nobody remembers it, but it ran for 3 dadgum decades. Yeah. Fantastic.
So we were, of course, talking East Coast, and I did let Missy know that she was walking a very fine line, playing fast and loose with the rules here. But as a first-time caller, she got a pass out of the penalty box this week. So just watch yourself, all of
it. Yeah, that's very lenient of you, Judge Jay.
I'm just saying.
On Missy's behalf and as her representative, thank you so much, Your Honor.
I think last week we didn't get to Amanda, so I'm going to read Amanda J's response right now. Fast Pass, Happily Ever After. I will cry when I get to see it in person again. I listen to the music all the time. Stand By Wishes. I loved Wishes, but Happily Ever After is better. Snack Break, Fantasy in the Sky. I've never sent this one. I think she means seen. Darn you, autocorrect. I've never sent this one, so it's automatically third. Yeah, I mean, just like everybody else, Amanda. It's like it's been wiped from memory. We got flashy things from the Men in Black thing.
Yes.
Like it never happened.
I love the fact that like across the board, literally nobody remembers this ever happening. Is this like the Berenstein Bears / Barnstein Bears type thing?
I think it is. Yeah, I think maybe it was just two realities have collided and erased Fantasy in the Sky for people. I don't know.
Oh, this is fantastic. Well, we did already mention Disneyland, so let's head out to our favorite Disneyland expert. That's going to be Tom. Definitely a fast pass for Happily Ever After, which will always have a special place in our heart. Not only did we get the chance to check it out within the first week after its debut, we were also treated to a live post-show unannounced performance of the theme by Jordan Fisher and Angie Coulthard that night. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I could definitely see why that would stand out in your memory. Standby goes to Wishes. A strong second place to Happily Ever After for us. It was just a beautiful show and emotional at that. And unfortunately, while I really enjoyed Fantasy in the Sky, it doesn't tug at the emotional heartstrings like the other two, so it gets hung with the snack break. Well, Tom, you get points because you actually remember this happening, and this isn't just something me and Jay made up to have a third option. So thank you, Tom.
However, the question is Tom referring to the Disneyland version?
Because, you know what? He remembers it happening. I'm not going to question it, and I really don't think you should either. We finally got somebody to admit that, yes, this actually does exist, so...
All right, fair enough.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, buddy.
I agree. All right. Next up, we got Emily P. She's going to fast pass Happily Ever After. The music alone gives me all the feels, but the fireworks are the greatest fireworks show ever. I'm going to cry when it comes back. Standby Wishes. It was the first fireworks show I saw, so nostalgic reasons, I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I am going to predict how the snack break goes here. She's going to say she never saw it. Snack break, Fantasy of the Sky. While I've never seen this one,
here it is.
It's automatically one I could live without. So there you go.
All right, and we are going to close out this week's edition of Fast Pass Standby Snack Break with a new rider on the monorail. It's my favorite member of the monorail family. It's Natalie. Welcome aboard, Natalie. Hi, all. New aboard the monorail, I would give my Fast Pass to Happily Ever After. The choreography of the lights on the castle combined with the beautiful score makes this a must-do for me. A pretty close standby is Wishes for the nostalgia factor. I remember when it was brand new, and then my snack break goes to Fantasy in the Sky for the very limited memories I have of it. No, Natalie, first of all, again, welcome aboard, and I'm glad that you have memories of it, once again, to prove that this is an actual thing, and me and Jay just didn't make something up.
We did not.
And then Marissa says she seconds all of this, unsurprisingly.
Sometimes we do make stuff up. This we did not make up.
What do you mean sometimes? We make up most of the stuff that makes it to air.
I was wondering when we did, I'm quite sure we did an M34D about Magic Kingdom fireworks, and I feel like we definitely talked about the Sky.
I don't kind of a theme for this Fast Pass Standby Snack Break. I don't remember doing that for Magic Kingdom fireworks.
I'll look it up. I'm going to look in the archives.
I really don't think we did.
Okay. All right. Place your bets, everybody, right now, whether or not we did an M34D on the fireworks in Magic Kingdom. If you are Team Landon, do hashtag Landaws is the best. If you're Team J, do hashtag J knows all and send that to the internet.
Are we doing this live?
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
This is fantastic. Oh.
I'm going to the Podbean as we speak because I want to reference it if people want to go back and listen to us, and then they'll be like, oh, yeah, they did talk about this, and it was a thing that existed. Because people, they probably even right now are like, this wasn't a thing. There was never Fantasy in the Sky. I feel like Old Man Frank needed to be on this show so he could like school people because he's so old he remembers it clearly.
He was probably there for the first day, and he's so old that the fireworks were in black and white.
I think that I could be remembering this wrong, but I do think that he says that it was his favorite show. Like he didn't like Wishes because it replaced Fantasy in the Sky. I think
that sounds like an Old Man Frank stance.
Yeah. So I mean, oh my goodness, I'm too far back now.
Before you find out the answer, in my defense, I never remember anything that we talk about on this podcast. So,
I'm absolutely not going to hold it against you if we did it. It's not going to be like we're not going to point at laugh at Landon.
Well, good, and I don't want to be voted off the island or anything.
No, definitely not. So let's Nope, that wasn't it. That was where we did. I think I'm getting close.
Because I know we definitely did some nighttime shows and just shows in general for Epcot when we were doing our walk around the world showcase, but I don't remember doing this for the Magic Kingdom.
Well, we did Philhar Magic, or sorry, Phil. I just read that. That's why I said it. We did Spectro Magic.
Okay.
And we did the Main Street Electrical Parade.
I do remember doing that. That thing still kicks ass.
I know we did those. And we also, for sure, did the Electrical Water Pageant, because that was one you
I do remember that. Mm-hmm.
Garrett did that one with me.
That's why I remember it, because the G-Man stood in for me.
Yeah. Okay, I am currently not finding it. Maybe we didn't do it.
So once again, throw out that hashtag Landas was right.
I don't know if that's what it was, but yeah, we can go with that one.
Or hashtag Landas is the best. Hashtag Landas is handsome. Hashtag Landas rules ass. How about, let's get that one going. I like that.
Let's not do that one. I don't think that would work. By the way, if you do want to hear our 2019 Mousker Award show, that was episode 45, February 24th, 2019.
That was a fun episode. I will brag on myself. I wrote all my lines because I was dadgum hilarious.
I wrote a script for it and I gave you room to improvise, and you did a great job.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I will say.
I made it good.
You made it good. This is something I was critical about old Bobby Chaps this week, because he decided to maybe go off script during his speech. And
God, did he? Yeah, wow, buddy.
And one of his mistakes was saying that Splash Mountain's been around for 60 years.
It hasn't. It really hasn't.
Well, the hilarious thing about that is the Magic Kingdom hasn't been around.
Yeah, they're getting ready to celebrate their 50th anniversary.
I really do wish he had topped it off by saying something like, I remember going on it as a small child with my parents, and told some stupid anecdotal story that just absolutely was not true. That would have been amazing if he had doubled down on it.
That whole interview was something else. He also said some other stuff that, quite frankly, I really don't want to touch on. But Bobby Chaps showed his ignorance this week. By the way, don't take this as a stance that we think we need to hashtag save Splash Mountain. If you've listened to any of our episodes, you know we're very excited for the retheming of Princess and the Frog. But Bobby Chaps, there's a reason why Diz Twitter thinks you're a big ginormous doofus, and everybody loves the great big beautiful Josh D'Amaro.
Daddy D'Amaro.
Stop calling him daddy. The only person that you should be calling daddy right now is National Collegiate Baseball Coach of the Year, Tony Vitello, with his daddy hat on.
I knew we would get there today.
Yeah, we are. Vols is in the College World Series, y'all. Go Vols.
With the second best odds to win this year.
Oh my God. There's a very real chance Tennessee might win a national championship. I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to say it. Don't want to jinx it.
And then everybody will say, yeah, no one cares about college baseball. But,
Yeah, a bunch of Arkansas and LSU fans, you goobers.
Well, they do care, and they are salty.
Oh my God, they're so salty. My dude at work, B. Rice, has been just delivering CM Punk pipe bombs on these goofuses. It is so fun to watch.
Oh, it's all of it. All of it is good. Okay, I'm gonna give up on it. I don't find it. I've gone back and forth through our old episodes, and I still don't see it. And at this point, I'm all the way to where we started doing Epcot stuff.
Yep. So once again, hashtag Landas rules ass.
I know it was on our list. I guess we just, I don't know.
Well, kind of like the news. We planned to get to a whole bunch of stuff, but you and I mean, just like we did, started waxing poetic on SEC sports. And it's like, okay, if we don't cut this down, this is going to be like a 9-hour podcast, which, by the way, that is another tier on the Patreon. We will do a 9-hour podcast if you donate $1,000 a month.
Sure. I'll approve that now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is Monorail tier unobtainium.
I'm shocked, quite frankly, but I am wrong. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, 2 times I threw my pen across the room. 2 times in like a 3-week period or 4-week period, I've been wrong. This is historical.
At least you're being consistent on
Yeah.
being wrong.
Maybe I just make it my new thing.
Yep, wrong, Jay. You've heard a wrong way. What about wrong, Jay?
All right.
If I was editing this week's podcast, I would put in a trombone noise there.
Who knows? I might do it to myself.
Oh, you should. You absolutely should.
Well, I think we've run out of time today, and I've certainly run out of facts because
What, are we not going to give our rankings?
Making up stuff. Oh, I always forget every
Once
time.
again, Jay was wrong.
That's a classic.
Yep.
I forget that we have to do ours every time.
Yep.
Mostly because this one I do think is the easiest one we've done. Do you want me to go first, or would you?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. So I am definitely fast passing Happily Ever After. I agree with so many of the folks that have shared their thoughts on this, that it is a very emotional, engaging show. I do somewhat agree with Lewis that the show is heavily dependent on the projections. And sometimes if you don't have the best view of the castle, it's not quite as good. However, the fireworks are still good. The music is still good. And when you do get the full impact of Happily Ever After, like if you're dead on with the castle, you can see the projections well. Some of those effects are just so good. And there are some moments that really, really hit with me. And count me amongst those that are covered in tears by the time Happily Ever After is over, because absolutely it makes me cry every time. Sometimes just hearing certain pieces of the music can get me to tear up. Wishes was great. I'm going to stand by Wishes. I do hold a special place in my heart for Wishes. I saw it many, many times. And Wishes was the show that was happening when Sam, the kids, and I took our first family trip to Walt Disney World, although we didn't see it because at that point we were having a Magic Kingdom breakdown. Sam didn't get her lobster roll.
Oh, those lobster rolls.
We were at Pecos Bill sitting outside, and I almost had to ignore the fact that you could see the fireworks from where we were sitting because no one cared.
You didn't want to be like, guys, come on, let's go watch the fireworks while Sam was in the corner just plotting your murder.
Fuming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone angry cry? It's terrifying. And then I will stand by Fantasy in the Sky. I do remember this show because, by the way, it ran for 30 years and Wishes wasn't there from the opening day of Magic Kingdom. I remember it. The impact it has on me is that before we had Wishes and before Happily Ever After, people still thought that Magic Kingdom fireworks were some of the best fireworks you could see in the world. Time to music, big, huge displays that you're just not going to get at a local fireworks show, better than most places 4th of July. I still think very highly of it. However, they just, with every iteration of a nighttime spectacular in Magic Kingdom, they've upped their game, and Happily Ever After is just this whole new standard that I don't think they come anywhere close to. I mean, I love Illuminations. Don't think Illuminations was as emotional for me as Happily Ever. I know it's not, but even as much as I love Illuminations, I still think Happily Ever After is the standard. So that's where I go.
All right. Well, I'm going to go bottom to top. I'm going to snack break Fantasy in the Sky. It was a fine show, but a little peek behind the curtain when I was putting together this week's Fast Pass Standby Snack Break. I had to text Jay for a third Magic Kingdom fireworks show. So it's like, it was a fine show, but it didn't make clearly an impact with me one way or another. I'm going to stand by Happily Ever After. Still probably the bar to clear for current day nighttime fireworks shows. The music, the fireworks, the spectacle of it all. If it wasn't for Wishes, I would say it's my favorite fireworks show, but I am in a fast pass Wishes. Kind of similar to something that Missy said. I grew up a Disney fan. My folks would take me and my younger brother down to the parks every 4 or 5 years or so. So I clearly had an appreciation for Disney and the parks. I grew up on, classic Disney animation, stuff like that. But Wishes is what just like put its hooks into me and pulled me to the other side, kind of like Missy was saying, talking about her husband. It's like, if I think hard enough about the Wishes soundtrack, I will be crying by the end of this podcast. Like, Wishes sealed the deal for me. Like Starlight, Starbright, first. I know you can't see it on the video, but every hair on my arm is standing up just thinking about the opening lyrics for Wishes. Like, Wishes to me, it's like, I know Disney is going to try to clear that bar, but in my opinion, I don't know if they ever will clear the bar of Wishes for me. Like Wishes is one of the keys of my Disney fandom. Like, I loved that show, and every time I saw it, just mask of tears. And if I keep talking about it, I'm going to be a grown man crying on the internet. So I'm going to shut up now.
Okay.
And all your fishes will be glue.
So, Happily Ever After, though, does it just not, it doesn't hit with you?
No. Happily Ever After is a great show. And yeah, I will still cry watching Happily Ever After, but it's like, having to compare it to Wishes, like, I'm not saying it's a bad show. It's just not as good of a show.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think
like don't get me wrong, especially now that it's back, it's like, I'll like if you ask me this question again in 6 months after I get to watch fireworks in the Magic Kingdom one more time, who knows? There's a chance it could change. I doubt it, but at the same time, it's like, it's not a bad show, and I will watch it every time I'm in the park when it's going on. But at the same time, like, if I had a time machine, I would actively go back to watch Wishes.
Gonna go back in time.
All right, dude. Wow, we've really made a lot of Universal references today.
Hey, I'm always going to jump at the chance to make a Back to the Future reference.
Great, Scott.
Do it, I'm doing it.
I get you. Pretty heavy, but I get you. There's that word again. Is gravity the
Okay, now we can wrap it up.
Are you sure? Is there nothing else I
don't think we have anything else planned for the day. But guys, we got some good stuff planned for the future. You better just stay aboard this monorail. Big things planned. New features to the show. I can't even begin to tell you right now because I don't want to spoil it, but just really good stuff coming up. We're so happy that you're here. Make sure that you're following along with us on all the socials. We are at Morning Monorail everywhere. morningmonorail.com is the website. If you want to email us and you want to participate in that cocktail contest, mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com is still the email address. Make sure to get those submitted before the end of the night, June 30th. You've still got a couple of weeks, essentially, to get that in. And then we're going to have a good time trying all those drinks at our live show on that July 8th, I think is what I said.
July 9th, as a matter of fact, because I put it in my calendar. And let me tell you, I am very much looking forward to that live stream.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Bring on all of your recipes. Like, maybe not all of them will make it to air, but there's definitely a real possibility that somebody on the podcast will try them all.
I foresee we're going to try fractions of these beverages. I think Landon might just say he has to try the whole thing to get a good opinion of it. So
I mean, like it would be derelict of myself if I didn't try the entire thing. I mean, some of us are amateurs, but I'm a professional.
That's true. We all know I couldn't complete the Landon the Doddsdome challenge when I was at Oga's this last time. So obviously I am not on that level.
We really do need to make that a shirt. Also, speaking of the shirts, head over to tpublic.com, search for the Morning Monorail. And I swear to God, if I do one more thing while I'm on God's green earth, we will get a Living with the Landon shirt up and going.
Yeah, it's going to happen. We just have to get a good design for it. I saw we had one submitted in the Discord. I'm not
really
sure that's the one. Yeah.
I did not see that, but yes, this does have to pass the Landon Doan seal of approval test. So, I mean, like you better bring your A game because you are representing me, ladies and gentlemen, me.
Yeah. But we do appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much for listening to the Monorail. And by the way, you helped us get back into the mid 50s this past week on Places and Travel and podcast in the US. So that is amazing. We're somewhere in the 80s, I think, let me see what our peak position in Great Britain, places and travel, was.
AKA the Lee territory.
Yeah, Lee's territory is 49, actually.
Wow. Okay. So Lee, good job. You really are building an army. We appreciate it.
And then in Canada, our peak position it's loading right now, 61. So
Oh, come on, Jeffers.
Jeff's got to do a little work for us over there.
Jeffany, step your game up. Go talk to Bret Hart and the Mountie. Come on.
Do something.
Yeah.
Build a Canadian army and help us climb over there.
Talk to Justin Trudeau. We will come up there now that y'all are kind of loosening your restrictions.
Possibly.
I'd go to Canada.
I will in the summer. I don't think I want to travel up.
Oh God, no. No. I'm not going to Tuscatoon or something like that in February.
Moose
That's
Jaw.
ridiculous. Yeah.
We're gonna go to Moose Jaw. All right. That's all for me. Landon, what have you got going on?
Landoz, please go follow me. Landon Doan, I'm the best. Landon Doan, not the rest. That's where you can follow me 280 characters at a time on Twitter. See, this is the part where I would plug my website, buttmunchchips.com, buttmunchchips.
Sit on your butt and munch. Where's my effect?
You don't have an effect. That's the entire reason I plugged it, because I don't do anything.
Sorry.
Well, this plug segment's ruined. I'm on the Phil Show too, News Talk 98.7 WOK, radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also available at newstalk987.com. Also available on the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. I do have to be the bearer of bad news if you're a fan of the sweet science of professional wrestling. Near Fall Radio probably isn't coming back because, like, as you heard last week, me and wrestling, it's kind of a tumultuous relationship right now. AEW still got it going on. WWE, not really that so much. But also, my co-host and good friend Will Rabb just found out that he and his lovely wife Shayna are pregnant. So congratulations, good brother Rabb. But yeah, probably no more Near Fall Radio. Sorry, guys.
That is sad. I'm going to end us on a high note because one thing I had to do before we wrapped up was check our iTunes reviews. I was a little nervous to do it. We've got 3 new ones.
Okay.
I have an update. All 5 stars.
Oh, thank God. I thought we were going to have to vaguely yell at some idiot again this week.
No, all 5 stars this time. And I'm sitting so far away from the screen that it's hard for me to see the usernames.
Am I going to have to pull it up on my phone?
I think I can see it. Okay. Oh,
so you'll get in the ballpark of the username. Perfect way to get and to get more 5-star reviews.
So here we go, guys. If you give us a 5-star review on iTunes, I'm going to read your reviews and thank you personally. And that's what I'm doing right now. We're starting with Disneyland Donna. 5 stars. Such a great podcast. Really fun and great WDW information. You guys are the best. Great way to start the week. And then she gives us a couple waves, and I can't see what that last icon is. This one, I'm going to save that for last. I'll read. Okay. The second one comes from Candace in the Family. She says, fun podcast, 5 stars. This is my favorite Disney World podcast. The hosts are personable, funny, and knowledgeable. It's a great way to keep the excitement building prior to my next trip. Thank you, Candace.
Nice. Thanks, Candace and the family. And thank you, Disneyland Donna. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Donna's amazing. We
Donna's the best. Like, Donna is my favorite member of the Monorail family.
But here's the mic drop. From our friend Kevin. It's like Disney crack for your ears. He says, for all you awesome 1-star leavers, I'm going to let you finish, but this is the best Disney podcast of all time.
Wow, he went Kanye. I love it.
He says, while I'm having my 3rd panic attack of the day and enjoying a sleeve of Ritz crackers dunked in peanut butter, it makes sense with the trauma.
And those are good. Those are really good.
There's nothing I love more than blasting a new episode of Morning Monorail to distract me from my crippling debt.
Wow, this review's hitting close to home.
What dedication they have, including shots of Justin's crotch on their Facebook page and Landon running around bottomless.
Wow. Can we just like put that on the poster? Yes.
I feel like fantastic. I'm going to probably screenshot this and share it as an example of how to do reviews of the Morning Monorail for all to see.
Oh, that's fantastic. Kevin is my favorite member of the Monorail family. Oh, my God.
Thank you, Kevin.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
Yeah, excited for him to get back down here too. I know he's got a trip planned, and in October, I think, is when he'll be here. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A lot of people coming down in October.
it's true. Can't wait to see you all. Hopefully, get a chance to meet up in the parks. But if we don't, you can always find us here and on all of those socials we mentioned before. So thanks to all of you. Thank you. If you are a member of the Patreon, thank you too. But you know what? As I always say, you don't have to be. We love you all anyway. Thank a cast member.
Yes, thank you, cast member.
And please have a magical week. Stay safe. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
That sign out's getting long, but I like it. It feels natural to me.
It does. And you know what? Screw it. We've like you look, we've been rolling for hour 30, literally 5 minutes. Who cares if it's long? Especially like you said, it feels natural. We going live on Facebook?
I can't with this StreamYard. I have to send you another one. So let me just end this broadcast. So for those of you watching the broadcast, enjoy.
Yeah, and also here's a nip. Jay, end it